The sole purpose of this video is to provide a basic overview and orientation of your new apparatus. This video is not intended to act as or replace individualized driver-operator training. Individual fire departments may base guidelines, policies, and procedures tailored for best practices. Pierce Manufacturing and Hughes Fire Equipment representatives are not liable for injuries caused from acts resulting from actions inconsistent with the information provided within this video and/or accompanying manuals. Refer to the Operation and Maintenance Manual for complete details relating to the components and features of this apparatus. Only trained personnel should operate this vehicle or perform maintenance. You are responsible for learning how to operate this fire apparatus under all conditions without having to refer to the manual while operating at an emergency incident. This video will discuss types of warnings and caution labels. It is your responsibility to locate and identify each of the labels and understand the importance and associated hazards. Warning labels will point out procedure that must be taken or action that must be avoided to guard against the possibility of serious injury or death. Caution labels will advise you that there is a risk of damage to property if certain precautions are not followed. Continuous training, reviewing of operation and service manuals, developing good standardized practices will assist driver operators with a more complete understanding of the components and operation of this fire apparatus. As the driver operator of this vehicle, you are responsible for understanding the function of each component of the apparatus, maintaining control of the fire apparatus at all times while in operation. Make operational and functional changes while operating at an emergency without having to read operator's instructions or safety warning labels. Operate manual override and emergency shutdown procedures immediately if a component fails to operate properly. Components location may vary with each Pierce fire apparatus. Review the exact location of each component prior to operation. Major inconsistencies between your vehicle and the information contained in this video should be directed to your sales representative. Safe operation of any vehicle is the responsibility of the driver operator. You must learn the location and function of all controls, switches, gauges, valves, inlets, and discharges. Due to a higher center of gravity, heavy trucks have a significantly higher rollover tendency than other types of vehicles. To reduce the risk of rollover, avoid making sharp turns, excessive speed, and avoid abrupt maneuvers. In the event of a rollover crash, an unbelted person is significantly more likely to become injured or die than a person wearing a seatbelt. In the event of a crash, unbuckled occupants can also become a hazard to other occupants, as they may be thrown around inside the cab. Seatbelts are required while in operation. Please refer to your warranty certificates for details and information enclosed in your manuals. Customer-installed equipment must be mounted to withstand road travel and comply with NFPA 1901. Modifications such as drilling holes or welding to structural frame components of the chassis are not permitted. Contact Pierce for instruction and review of non-structural sheet metal or other dissimilar metals for modification. Follow the radio installation guide for further assistance on installing or mounting electronics. Before placing your new apparatus into service, perform a primary inspection of key components of the apparatus, including all fluid levels, anti-lock braking systems, electronic stability control, and automatic traction control. Weigh your apparatus to ensure that it conforms to axle and brake ratings. Never exceed the gross axle rating printed on the label inside the cab. Exceeding these ratings could lead to reduced component life, personal injury, or death. Review the use of auxiliary braking systems, compression brake, exhaust brake, electronic retarder, and hydraulic retarder. Before placing the apparatus in service, refer to the operational maintenance manuals. Information on the operation and maintenance functions for the components such as the pump, pressure governor, and foam systems, along with other options, is provided in either the Pierce manuals and/or other manufacturer support information delivered with the apparatus. If you need more information, please contact Hughes Fire Equipment. Congratulations, McMinnville Fire District, Oregon, on your new Pierce fire apparatus, job number 39285. Please utilize this 5-digit job number when referencing your apparatus with Hughes Fire Equipment and Pierce Manufacturing. Let's get started on a brief orientation. First, a general view at the front of the vehicle. We'll start at the very top section with the roof area where you'll find your emergency warning light bar. There are also 5 identification clearance lights and a center forward-facing floodlight. Moving down to the windshield, there are 2 windshield wipers across the front windshield. On the hood section, you'll find a grab handle location for tilting the hood. As we move to the grill area, you'll find 2 emergency warning light forward-facing along with a Pierce logo. As we move to the very top, you'll find the Freightliner logo. Directly above this area is where you'll find the grab handle for tilting the hood section. Close up here of the emergency warning lights within the grill area. Let's move down toward the lower portion of the front body area, where you'll find on the front bumper extension, a D handle will gain you access into the hose storage location. In this space, you'll find dry deck material at the base, and on the rear wall of the compartment, a discharge. As we move further down under the vehicle, you'll find tow hooks. These are 6,000 pounds direct pull and are not intended for towing your vehicle. Also, electronic siren and PA speaker and air horn. As we move to the side of the bumper extension, you'll find a side-facing emergency warning. Also, as we move up from this location, the headlight structure housing low and high beam headlights and a marker light. Also, at the very top section of the hood, you'll find the air inlet. We're on the driver's side. And over the top of the fender well is where you'll find a marker turn indicator light. At the rear of this location is where you'll find the release for the hood on both passenger and driver's side. Your front axle is Alcoa wheel and Michelin tires. General view of the entire vehicle, the side of the cab area. Let's start first with your mirrors. At the very top, you'll find a flat mirror, and in the lower portion, a convex mirror. Grab handle, easily accessible with a gloved hand. They are also keyed door locks. Down in the lower portion, you'll find the silver cap, which is your ultra low sulfur diesel. Right next to that is the blue cap, which is your DEF fill location. To the right of that location is the auto eject shoreline inlet, 20 amp. As we move just up from this location to the door panel, you'll find affixed to the door panel safety and warning placard information. Also, lights in the stepwell area are located within this space also. At the base of the seat is where you'll find the yellow placard. We'll go over that placard in just a few moments. I would like to point out the yellow placard houses information on it regarding the date of manufacture, 5-digit job number, gross vehicle weight rating, and cold tire inflation. Also the VIN number, and then all of the fluid components and fluid types are within this yellow placard. As we move to the lower section, you'll find your master battery switch, quarter turn. And then just to the right of this location, when plugged into Shoreline Power, you'll find your battery voltage status indicator. Moving up to the left knee of the operator is where you're going to find your access for your maintenance team. This is your connection port. Just up from this location, you'll find a keyed ignition. Also a warning placard located directly above this, where you'll find the height of the vehicle, 9 feet 8 inches, length of the vehicle 31 feet 3 inches, and a gross vehicle weight rating 39,300 pounds. This also houses your 5-digit job number, headlight control and parking lights. Moving just to the right of this location as we look to the dash area. Moving back to the steering wheel, you'll find on the steering wheel spoke additional function buttons. Then to the right side steering wheel, And then on the back of the turn signal, you'll find your shifter. Pull to apply your system parking brake and push to release. It is the yellow diamond. To the right, you'll find your four-way flashers, dome light, footwell, and automatic traction control. Also, you'll find your regen on-off switch. Seatbelt information, red indicating someone is in the seat and not belted, green they're in the seat and belted. Your pump shift, instructions for its operations for pump operations and road operations. Additional switch for high idle, OK to engage the high idle, load manager, low voltage, and air horn, electric horn. Also door ajour and all of your scene lights. In the lower section, climate control for heat, air conditioning, and defrost. Moving just downward from this location, you'll find additional switch panels. We'll cover those next, starting on the left. This is the emergency master, roof light, front warning, side warning, lower rear warning, and upper rear warning. As we move to the very top, you have a red flashing light indicating you have a compartment open or door ajar. Please do not move your apparatus when this light is on. You'll also find the monitor for your backup camera located within this area. Moving now to the rear cab space, affixed to the door panel, safety and warning placard information, door lock and latch, window control, and a grab handle. You'll also find lights under the cab area for illuminating the stepwell area. As we move inside the cab area, you'll find seats located on the rear cab wall. Those seats do house SCBA brackets, as you can see here in the images. There is also comfort pads for the 3 forward-facing seats. Let's move to the exterior now, to the pump panel area. We'll start at the very top section in the dunnage area, where there is a grab handle for gaining access, along with steps on the vertical side sheet of the body area. Let's move to the crosslays. There are 2 located here, crosslay 1 and crosslay 2. Both of these are foam capable. As we move to the gray module, you'll find your master intake and master discharge gauges. In between the 2 of those test gauge ports for vacuum and pressure, they're currently plugged. Warning, entanglement hazard. Because those lines coming from aloft, there's the possibility of entanglement. In the red section, this is your Husky foam system control module, instructions, and foam level indicator. Pressure throttle controller and also an audible alarm. Switch panel for panel lights, OK to pump, and also additional scene lights. As we move through the individual discharges, we have front discharge, crosslays 1 and 2. All of those are foam capable. As we move down, we have a placard here for your Husky Foam System 3 specifications and also operating instructions. Deluge discharge and also driver rear discharge. The rear discharge is foam capable. To the right, warning placard indicating fall hazard. Always climb on or off the vehicle while facing it, and also water tank level indicator. Number 1 and number 2, 2.5-inch discharge. Large diameter discharge located on the passenger side is a wheel valve, along with your fire pump primer push to prime air prime. For best practice, at least 1,000 RPMs when engaging the air primer. Engine cooler is a twist, not a pull. As we move down, you'll also find the tank to pump and also tank fill and recirculating line. Across the bottom section, you'll find a 2.5-inch discharge on the left. Also a warning placard here indicating pressure hazard. Caps may be under pressure. Be cautious when opening them. As we move to the right, you'll also find a warning placard here indicating foam failure. Do not mix different brands or consistencies of foam. American Eagle flag and Pierce logo is your large diameter pump inlet, along with an air inlet. Also, only trained personnel should operate this piece of equipment, and that's only after proper training. Across the very bottom, all of our color-coded and labeled discharge drains. You'll also find the 2.5-inch auxiliary inlet located here. It is a female inlet locally controlled via the ball valve. To the right of that is your Watrous placard indicating the capacity, 1,500 GPM. Across the very bottom of this area, you're going to find all of our color-coded and labeled discharge drains, along with a pan door. Lift and turn latch will gain you access into this space. This is the right-hand side of the pump panel. What you'll find behind this pump panel is your foam control for either operation or fill operations, dependent on that yellow placard handle. This is the placard indicating that function or operation. Also, you'll find your main pump drain and also manual pump shift located within this area.
Underneath the running board, you'll find our color-coded and labeled discharge drains. These are particular for your foam drains, for foam pump drain and foam pump intake drain. On that vertical body side, you'll find fold-down steps for gaining access to go aloft. Let's take a look at the full side of the vehicle. We'll start with the compartment doors open. And then we'll start at the very top section where you'll find two side-facing scene lights, one at the front of the body side sheet and one at the rear portion. Inside the compartments, you'll find when plugged into Shoreline Power, your battery charger will be active along with these outlets within the compartment. Forward of the rear axle, you'll find a trigger latch will gain you access into this space for SCBA bottle storage for up to 3 bottles with retaining straps. Also a marker turn indicator light, and over wheel you'll find an emergency warning light, part of the lower emergency warning lights. To the rear, trigger latch gains you access into this space for SCBA bottle storage. There are 3 bottle storage locations here with retaining straps. As we move down to the rear axle, Alcoa wheel and Michelin tires. Now moving into the compartment space, where you'll find in the lower section a pull-out tray. The release mechanism for this floor-mounted tray is located on the lower right-hand side. As we move just underneath this space, you'll find the storage location for your folding wheel chocks. There are 2 located here. And as we move up to the very top section, you'll find at the top side-facing scene light and a 360-degree emergency warning light. Let's move around to the rear of the apparatus. We'll identify a few items starting in the upper left-hand corner, driver's side rear. It's where you'll find a rear-facing scene light. Just below this area is where you'll find your license plate holder. There are additional cup switch located within this space. There are 2 rear scene lights and hose bed lights. And then across the very bottom section, emergency brake, turn, and reverse light cluster, both on the driver and passenger side. Additional fold-down steps for gaining access on the side sheet. And then also a 2.5-inch discharge, recessed traffic advisor, and backup camera. Some warning placards here indicating entanglement hazard, fall injury. When climbing on or off the vehicle, always face it and never ride on the vehicle while it's in motion. As we move to the center compartment rear roll-up compartment door, gaining access into this space via the lift bar at the bottom. LED lighting within this space. This is also a pass-through compartment, meaning from passenger to driver's side. As we move up to the very top, these are the hose bed lights activated via the switch on the cup switch in the lower left corner, driver's side. As we move to the D handle on the right-hand side, this pan door has access for your grand louders, 24-foot extension, 14-foot roof, 10-foot attic, and then also long-handled tool storage for pike poles. In the upper portion, emergency warning light and rear-facing scene. In the lower portion, emergency brake, turn, and reverse lights. We're now moving around to the passenger side of the vehicle. We'll start first with a full view of the body section. 3 compartments within this area, and let's take a look with compartments open, adjustable shelving, and a pull-out tray in the lower portion. As we move up to the very top of the side sheet, you'll find a side-facing scene light. Same thing as we move forward, an additional side-facing scene light. Into the compartment at the rear, you have a pull-out floor-mounted tray. The release is located on the lower right. Let's move to the over-wheel compartment where you'll find an adjustable tray. And then just down from this location, behind the wheel area, you'll find a trigger latch gains you access into this space for SCBA bottle storage, 3 bottles with retaining straps. Over the rear axle is where you'll find a side-facing emergency warning, part of the lower emergency warning light, Alcoa wheel once again, and Michelin tires. Forward of this location, you'll find an additional pan door. Trigger latch gains you access into the space where you'll find SCBA bottle storage with retaining straps. There are 3 bottle locations here. Moving down from this location, you'll find a marker light and then also a warning placard indicating extremely hot diesel exhaust temperatures do exist, especially during regen operation. Be cautious where you park your vehicle and has safety parameters provided. As we move to the forward side sheet at the top, you'll find a side-facing scene light. On the vertical side, you'll find fold-down steps for gaining access to go aloft. And as we move to the pump panel area, at the very top section, you'll find grab handles for accessing into the dunnage area. Forward of this location is the crosslays, same configuration and layout. There are two located here. Also some danger and warning placard information here indicating entanglement hazard because those lines coming from aloft. Also additional warning placards indicated within this space. Always face the vehicle when climbing on or off the vehicle and never ride on the vehicle while it is in motion. As we look to the pan door, lift and turn latch will gain you access to the visual component area behind the pump panel area. There is also a compartment light in the very top section. As we move to the lower section of the pump panel, you'll find large diameter pump inlet, pan door. Behind this pan door is where you'll find the relief valve and the control settings for that relief valve. Moving forward to this location, American Eagle Pierce logo. This is your passenger side inlet. Large diameter discharge is in green, 2.5-inch discharge on the passenger side, and then also just below this you'll find a warning placard indicating pressure hazard. Once again, caps may be under pressure. Be cautious when opening them. As we move across the very bottom section, you'll find all of your color-coded and labeled discharge drains, along with your minimum operation maintenance schedule. We're now moving into the cab section next. Same configuration and layout. At the rear cab door, you'll find grab handle, and then also easily accessible a gloved hand is the door lock and latch combination of fixed door panel, safety and warning placard information, grab handle, door locks, and window control. On the base of the cab, you'll find lights for illuminating the stepwell area as we look inside this space. And then under the lower rear cab seats, where you'll find additional storage in these storage boxes under the cab seat area. All three of the rear positions are SCBA packs, forward facing. Let's move around now to the officer position. Grab handle for gaining entry and exit. Door handle above the door. You'll also find a downward facing mirror, convexed, flat mirror, and also convexed mirror on the side. As we move to the door panel, a fixed door panel, safety and warning placard information, door lock and latch, grab handle, and window control. On the base, you'll find LED lights for illuminating the stepping surface. At the base of the seat, you'll find 2 foot pedals in this space into the officer area. First is the electronic siren activation and air horn activation. Moving under the seat, you'll find additional storage just as you had in the rear seats, SCBA bottle storage, and then also a padded insert. As we move to the A pillar, you'll find a grab handle for gaining entry and exit. And as we look into the cab area itself, you'll find the top section, dome lights, and also storage location. To the rear of the hood area is where you'll find the release for unlocking the hood, both on passenger and driver. Over the wheel is where you'll find a marker turn indicator light. As we move to the wheel itself, you'll find Michelin tires, Alcoa wheel. And then as we move forward to this location to the headlight structure housing low and high beam headlights, turn indicator. Onto the front bumper extension where you'll find a side-facing emergency warning light. General view of the entire apparatus. Congratulations, McMinnville Fire Department, Oregon, on your new Pierce fire apparatus. If you have any questions regarding your vehicle, please contact your Hughes Fire sales representative. Thank you and congratulations.